Dot Corruption, a LitRPG by J.M. Foley, a.k.a. Artie. Chapter 5. Do you feel that? The static faded, eventually, but the pain didn't. I swayed, caught myself against a tree. My vision stuttered just for a second, like the world skipped a frame. Lilia wasn't smiling. She stood a few paces ahead, one hand against her head, frozen, brows pinched in genuine confusion and pain. She said softly, "Sorry, my head hurts. I don't know what's happening." Her voice was still hers, but something was missing now. That peppy, perfect cadence, the pre-programmed cheer? Gone. "I feel weird," she added, blinking rapidly. This isn't normal." I straightened, heart rate spiking. "What do you mean? Aren't you?" Thoom. We both froze. A low, distant tremor rolled through the earth, like a boulder slamming into dirt. Thoom. Closer this time. The leaves above us trembled. Somewhere in the canopy, birds took flight in a panicked burst. Lilia turned to me slowly, her voice a brittle whisper. "Shh. Do you feel that?" I did. The ground was shaking now. Not a full quake, just small, rhythmic pulses. Steps. Heavy ones. Then I heard it. A low, snarling breath. Wet, bubbling, diseased. From behind the trees, something massive lumbered into view. Hunched, frothing hunks of fur torn free from patchy gray flesh. Plague bear, level 12. Rabid. The air turned thick, rotting, like mold and copper and something wrong. Lilia stared at it, her face, so cheerful just moments ago, twisted into something I'd never seen on her before. Terror. "That's," she whispered, backing up a step. "That's not supposed to be here." She looked down at her hands like she didn't recognize them. Her voice trembled. "None of this is... I don't know what's happening. The things I'm saying, I'm not supposed to say them. I don't know how I'm saying them." She clutched her head. "I can't stop thinking." The bear turned. It saw us. A low, gurgling roar from its throat, and then it charged. "Run!" Lilia screamed, shoving me hard. "Go!" We ran. The thing thundered behind us, its footsteps like clubs slamming into earth. I risked a glance over my shoulder. Too late. The plague bear lunged. I turned on instinct, blade up. Steel met claws. Clang! The impact tore through my arms like a shockwave. My feet left the ground. I hit the dirt hard, rolled, groaned. My health plummeted from 100% to 85% from the hit and fall, despite blocking it. "Echo!" Lilia's voice cracked. A green glow shimmered in the air around me, faint motes of light pooling across my skin. Touch of nature. HP plus 2% per second for 10 seconds. She raised both hands, shouting something in a tongue I didn't recognize, her voice full of panic. Vines burst from the earth, thorny and wet, lashing around the bear's limbs. It roared in surprise, limbs yanked taut mid-charge. "Now run! I'll hold them off!" she screamed. I stared at her. I could run. I should run. But something twisted in my gut, tight and sharp and human. I can't just leave her here with this thing. I stood. I sprinted. The world narrowed to the bear's massive chest. I screamed, raised my sword, and swung it down in a heavy arc, letting gravity help me out. The blade slashed through its upper arm with a wet crunch, sinew and corrupted bone splitting as the edge tore deep. Its arm now dangled, uselessly, disgustingly by its side. The bear shrieked, a bubbling, inhuman noise, and ripped free of the vines with a burst of strength. It turned and swiped at me again, sending me flying. This time, I didn't block it. HP, 93%, down to 53%. This thing hit like a fucking truck. I let out a loud groan as I landed in the dirt, several feet away. It ripped free from the vines and turned its attention back on Lilia, who was holding her arm out mid-cast. The bear roared and barreled toward her, froth flying from its jaws, one arm dangling half useless. She canceled the spell and raised her staff to catch the blow. Barely. Crack! I saw an HP bar above Lilia's head now, missing about 34% as she was hurled back, skidding across the moss. The bear began to walk toward her, arm raised in an attempt to maul her. I got up and began sprinting at her and threw a shadow bolt at it. It didn't give a fuck. The bear lunged at Lilia to finish her. I leapt, grabbed its back, and drove my blade through the top of its shoulder, past meat into bone. It bellowed, reared up, then twisted and threw me like a rag doll. HP from 53% down to 43%. The trees spun, the sky spun, and the bear turned. Its eyes locked on me now. The bear slowly made its way toward me as I struggled to get to my feet. It already looked like death when it arrived. Now it looked much worse. One arm hung in shredded ribbons, nearly severed. Thick, tar-black blood oozed from the gash I'd carved through its shoulder. Part of its jaw sagged loose, twitching, and still it kept coming. Ragged, rabid, unstoppable. As it almost closed the distance, I finally managed to stand, legs shaking, longsword in hand. I wasn't exactly looking like the poster child for peak health myself. On top of that, my stamina was only at about 10% left. But this thing? Fuck. I don't know how it was still standing. I was most likely about to experience my first death in this game. I wondered what it would be like. Would it hurt? Would there be a loading screen? A cutscene? I was about to wake up back in town with half my gold missing and a cheery better luck next time from some NPC healer. I shook my head, clearing it, steadying myself for one last attempt. The beast closed in, just a few feet left, when vines erupted from the ground beneath it, yanking at its legs. "Finish it off!" Lilia shouted. I gritted my teeth, burned the last of my stamina, and lunged. The tip of my longsword punched through its chest, right into its disease-ridden heart. It tried to roar, but only coughed. A foul spray of bile and blood burst from its throat, spewing across my face and chest. Then it went limp. The weight of its body dragged itself off my blade as it collapsed backward, crashing to the forest floor with a final, wet thud. And then it was my turn. Having expended all of my stamina, I practically collapsed onto the ground face up, winded, and absolutely useless, like a true hero. I still somehow had plenty of HP left to work with, but my SP was completely drained. I had barely scratched my mana too. That spell did fuck all to that thing. My vision was blurry, but it didn't look like I'd be experiencing my first death just yet. Lilia rushed over, dropped to her knees beside me, and immediately began casting a spell. "Don't worry," she said softly, a breathless smile tugging at her lips. "I'll heal you up." A rush of cool, emerald light washed over me, like stepping into shade after a long day in the sun. Vines of soft, green energy curled around my limbs, followed by a gentler pulse that soaked into my skin like morning dew. Nature's Embrace, HP plus 28%. Touch of Nature, HP plus 2% per second for 10 seconds. I let out a groan, blinking up at her. "How bad do I look?" She giggled, brushing a lock of hair from her face. "Terrible. Honestly, you're a mess." "Aren't you supposed to flirt with me?" I said, grinning through the ache. "Not tell me how awful I look?" Lilia laughed again, but her smile wavered, just a little. A single tear slipped down her cheek, cutting a clean trail through dirt and sweat. "Thank you," she whispered, voice barely above the breeze. "Thank you for helping me." I didn't say anything back. I just closed my eyes and let the warmth of the spell and her presence carry me into silence. Thank you for listening. If you want to read ahead, you can find the link to my book on Royal Road in the video description. If you're enjoying the story, please feel free to leave a comment and tell me your thoughts. If you like my way of storytelling, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be writing and uploading more chapters and stories soon. Thank you so much for listening.